The R's array hung silently above Saturn, a long string of antennas and metal towers orbiting the gas giant. Inside, the control room was filled with soft beeps and quiet voices. The room smelled faintly of recycled air and coffee. Laura Green leaned over a console, staring at the screen. Numbers and symbols flickered across the display. She frowned. "Captain Ward," she called, her voice low but firm. "You need to see this." Captain Jason Ward, tall and broad-shouldered, walked over him. His hair was a little longer than regulation, and he had the tired look of someone who had spent too many nights watching space. He leaned over the console and read the data carefully. "Where did it come from?" he asked. His tone was calm, but inside, a spark of curiosity burned. "It's a signal," Laura said. "I've never seen anything like it. It's not human, and it is repeating. Over and over, it's a distress call." Jason raised his eyebrows. "Distress call? From who?" "I don't know," Laura admitted. "The language, it is structured, but it is alien, and the coordinates sit points far beyond the known human reach. Farther than any ship has gone." Jason rubbed his chin. "How far?" "Several hundred light years," Laura said. "At least, and it has been repeating for years." From across the room, Ethan Cole, the communications officer, looked up from his own console. He was younger than Jason, quick with calculations, and full of energy. "I've been trying to decode it," he said. "But it's not just words. There's data embedded in it, patterns that we can barely understand." "Whoever sent this? They are desperate." Jason straightened. "We should report it." Laura shook her head. "We already did." "But the council, they are debating. Most of them think it is not meant for humans. They think it is someone else's problem." Ethan frowned. "If it's a call for help, it doesn't matter who it was meant for. If no one answers, someone dies." Jason nodded slowly. "Ethan's right. We know what it feels like to be ignored when you need help. We don't wait for someone else. We go." The room went quiet. Outside, the vast rings of Saturn glimmered faintly. The council would argue and debate, but Jason and his team had already made up their minds. Days later, the council held an emergency session. Leaders from all over the world argued. Some said it was too risky to send a ship. Others said it could be a trap. Colonel Ryan Cole, Ethan's older brother, warned of unknown dangers and possible alien hostility. But Jason stood firm. "If we wait for signs from some ancient civilization," he said, "we may be delayed. This is a call for help, and someone has to answer." Laura added, "The signal has been repeating for years. If no one goes, they may have already died. We cannot know if the time has run out. We can't just ignore it." The council finally agreed to send one ship. A fast, long-range rescue vessel called Aurora Lance would go. It was designed to travel far and carry only the crew needed for rescue and repair missions. It was not a battleship. It was not a warship. It was a vessel built for reaching people who were alone and in danger. The crew was small but skilled. Jason Ward would command. Laura Green would serve as linguist and alien culture expert. Ethan Cole would handle communications and systems. Olivia Brooks, the chief engineer, was quiet but brilliant, able to fix almost anything. Noel Price was the pilot, steady and calm under pressure. Mia Collins, the medic, could treat humans or aliens using whatever tools were available. Dylan Parker, the tactical officer, was prepared for danger but preferred avoiding it. Before departure, Ethan and Ryan argued quietly in the hangar. "This could be a trap," Ryan said. "We don't know what is out there. Sending one ship is reckless." Ethan shook his head. "And doing nothing is worse. If we wait for fleets that may never come, lives will be lost. We may be the only ones who can help." Jason joined them. He looked at both of them, steady and calm. "We cannot control the galaxy, but we can control our choice. We are going." We heard them. "We go." The Aurora Lance hummed quietly as its engines came online. The hangar doors opened, and sunlight from Saturn's rings bathed the ship in gold and silver light. Families and friends of the crew waved from observation platforms. The ship lifted slowly, then accelerated. It left orbit, heading for the dark and unknown stretches of space. Inside the ship, Laura and Ethan worked to decode the repeating signal. Its patterns were strange, almost musical, shifting in ways human brains did not expect. Laura frowned at the screen. It is like someone is leaving a message for anyone who might come. But it is more than words. There is data hidden in it. Ethan nodded. Yes, I can see coordinates and what looks like instructions, maybe repair guides or survival tips. Whoever sent this wanted someone to come prepared. They expected help from someone who knew what to do. Laura looked at Jason. Do you think anyone else heard it before us? Jason shook his head. We don't know, and it doesn't matter. We heard it, and we are coming. The ship jumped into faster-than-light travel. Stars stretched into long streaks of light. Outside the windows, galaxies spun silently. Inside, the crew prepared. They ran checks, reviewed protocols, and tried to imagine what awaited them at the other end of the signal. Days passed. The crew settled into routines. Noah practiced maneuvers through asteroid fields. Olivia checked the engines, fine-tuning their performance. Mia ran medical simulations on alien physiology using data pulled from the signal. Dylan reviewed tactical procedures in case danger appeared. Ethan and Laura worked tirelessly on the alien language, trying to understand its hidden layers. One evening, Laura found something new. A subtle shift in the signal, almost like a heartbeat. Captain, she said, there is a live component in the message. Someone is still alive. Jason frowned. Where? Central coordinates, Laura said. The rest of the signal repeats like a loop, but this part, it is fragile, almost failing. Whoever sent it is barely holding on. Jason looked at his crew. We are going to find them. No matter what, Ethan smiled faintly. Finally, a mission that matters? Jason nodded. All missions matter if lives are at stake. But yes, this one will matter in ways we can't see yet. The ship accelerated. Lights dimmed and brightened as faster-than-light drives adjusted. Outside, the universe stretched and twisted. Inside, the crew prepared. Each person thought of Earth, of family and friends. Each thought of those unknown beings waiting for help. Laura studied the signal again. She traced its pattern with her finger on the screen. It has been sending for years, perhaps decades. And no one answered. Jason put a hand on her shoulder. We are answering. That is enough. One ship, one crew, one choice. That is enough. Noah glanced at the star map. I have never flown this far before, but I will get us there. Mia smiled. And we will be ready to help. Whatever waits for us, Dylan nodded. And we will protect the crew. Nothing else comes first. Jason looked around the bridge. Each person was quiet now, focused. The hum of the ship and the light of distant stars were the only sounds. And for the first time, he felt the weight of their mission. A call for help had echoed across the galaxy, ignored by all, and now one species was answering. A few days later, Aurora Lance emerged from faster-than-light travel. The stars looked normal again, and the ship slowed. The sensors immediately began to pick up faint signals. Twisted metal and burned-out ships floated silently. Something had happened here, a battle, destruction, and perhaps death. The distress call had led them to the aftermath of something terrible. Jason tightened his grip on the console. Prepare for what we may find. Be ready to act. And remember why we are here. Someone sent this call for help, and only we answered. Laura stared at the display, tracing the signal's final coordinates. It is here. This is where they waited. This is where we will find them. The crew exchanged quiet looks. No one knew what they would find, what danger might await. But they knew one thing. They were the first to come. And if the call for help had waited this long, it would not wait for anyone else. Only humanity had arrived. Outside, the cold stars stretched endlessly. Inside, the Aurora Lance moved forward, steady and determined, toward lives that depended on them. Aurora Lance moved slowly into the system that the signal had led them to. Outside, twisted metal and burned-out ships floated in silence. Laura Green stared at the display, tracing each fragment of debris with her finger. It looks like a battle, she said quietly. And it was recent. Relatively recent. Jason Ward stood beside her, his arms crossed. Judging by the patterns, yes, whoever was here. They fought hard. He pointed to the largest structure on the sensors. That station, our live signal is coming from there. Noah Price, the pilot, maneuvered the ship closer. The station looks badly damaged, he said. Gravity is unstable. I'll need to keep the thrusters running almost constantly. Inside the ship, the crew prepared for a landing. Olivia Brooks, the chief engineer, checked her tools. We'll need to be careful. Power systems are probably failing. One wrong move and the whole place could collapse. Mia Collins, the medic, ran through emergency protocols. I hope whoever is alive can survive until we get inside. Cryo or life support, I don't know what they have. Dylan Parker, the tactical officer, placed small drones around the ship. We don't know what's left in the station. Could be automated defenses. Could be traps. We need eyes everywhere. Ethan Cole worked on communication systems, trying to send simple messages to the station. I'll try a visual signal, he said. Images instead of words. Maybe they will understand that we mean no harm. Jason nodded. Do it. Keep it simple and clear. We want them to see us as helpers, not intruders. The Aurora Lance moved carefully toward the station. The outer hull of the station was twisted and scorched. Lights flickered in broken patterns, and small explosions of sparks jumped from damaged circuits. The station had been attacked, but by whom? No one yet knew. As they approached, a small section of the station's outer wall opened slightly, almost as if testing them. Ethan's signal sent a simple holographic message, a human hand held up, palm open. With the words, "We come to help," inside the station, a weak power surge responded. Doors opened wider. Jason ordered a landing party, himself, Laura, Ethan, Mia, and Olivia. They suited up and entered the station. The inside was worse than the sensor suggested. Corridors were twisted and scorched. Pieces of alien machinery lay scattered across the floor. Sparks flew from broken circuits. Smoke drifted through the hallways. The smell was sharp, like burning metal and chemicals. Mia moved cautiously, checking the air for toxins. It's breathable, but just barely, she said. Keep your helmets ready. Laura studied the walls. Strange symbols and patterns glowed faintly, remnants of alien technology. This culture, they are advanced, much more than we expected. Their systems are sophisticated, but clearly damaged. Jason led the group carefully. Stay alert. Keep comms open. Watch for traps. After several tense minutes, they reached the central chamber. There, slumped in a powered chair, was a living alien. It was tall and thin, with glowing skin and a crest of flexible spines over its head. Its eyes opened slowly, glowing faintly. Laura stepped forward, hands raised in a gesture of peace. We heard your call, she said. We are here to help. The alien, who introduced himself as Commander Terrell, seemed surprised. His voice was strange, soft, and musical. You are alone? He asked. Jason nodded. We are the only ones who came. We received your distress signal. We will help. Terrell's eyes widened. I expected the concord of stars. Fleets of ships, not. This, he gestured weakly to the damage around him. We waited, but no one came. Ethan and Laura worked to set up a temporary communication link. Laura translated as best she could, using the alien patterns and data embedded in the signal. Terrell struggled to understand, but slowly began to see their meaning. Olivia studied the station's power systems. The main core is near collapse, she said. If it fails, everyone in cryostasis will die. Terrell's hand shook slightly. I cannot repair it alone. My crew, they are trapped. Time is short. Jason stepped forward. We can help. We have experience with systems under pressure. Let us try. Terrell looked at him with doubt. You are small. One ship, one crew. How can you possibly repair a station built by 1,000 engineers over centuries? Jason's voice was calm. We are not them, but we came. That is the first step. Olivia and Ethan began to work on the power systems. The alien technology was complicated. Their machines used energy conduits unlike anything humans had built. Sparks jumped dangerously. Systems beeped in warning tones. Laura stayed close to Terrell, helping to translate and explain each action. Mia monitored his health, adjusting oxygen and life support levels. Hours passed. Each small success brought a sigh of relief. Each small failure caused tension and concern. Olivia patched human fusion modules into alien conduits. Ethan reprogrammed repair drones to handle foreign circuits. Slowly, the station began to hum with power again. Meanwhile, Dylan and Noah watched from the ship. They scanned the surrounding debris fields and noticed a small object buried in an asteroid. "I think it's a Vorth device," Dylan said. "Could be a dormant weapon." Terrell looked worried. "The Vorth, they leave finishing blows. If anyone arrives, the devices can activate and destroy the station." Jason exchanged a look with Ethan. "We can handle this, but we need a plan that doesn't rely on brute force. Let's think creatively." Ethan worked on copying the Vorth signal patterns. "I may be able to trick the device into thinking the station is already destroyed," he said. "It's risky, but it could work." Terrell shook his head. "No Concord fleet would try such a thing. Too dangerous. Too unpredictable." Jason smiled faintly. "We are not the Concord. We are willing to take risks they won't. That is why we are here." Olivia adjusted the patched power conduits. Sparks flew, but the systems held. Slowly, the cryostasis pods began to stabilize. Lights flickered on. Emergency alarms went silent. Terrell's remaining crew began to awaken, weak but alive. Terrell's eyes filled with a mix of relief and disbelief. "You saved them," Laura smiled. "We only did what anyone should do. We came when no one else would." Jason nodded. "Sometimes the smallest action matters more than 1,000 ships." While the station stabilized, Ethan transmitted a short message back into space. It was a simple broadcast: "Survivors stable. Humanity has arrived to help." Terrell frowned. "If the Concord receive this, they may see you as intruders. You are small. You have no power to command or protect. They may resent your interference." Jason shrugged. "We are not hiding. We are here. If they react, we will face them. But our first duty is to the living, not politics." As the night cycle passed on the station, the crew worked tirelessly. Olivia and Ethan perfected the human-alien power bridge. Mia helped Terrell and his officers recover. Laura taught basic human methods for problem-solving. Terrell began to see that these humans were not weak or reckless. They were adaptable, clever, and determined. Then, a small tremor shook the station. The dormant Vorth device stirred. Lights flickered. Alarms beeped. Dylan and Noah on Aurora Lance watched closely. "It's activating," Dylan said. "We need to complete the trick quickly." Ethan finished programming the fake signal. He transmitted it to the device. The countdown slowed. Sparks flew from the outer casing. Everyone held their breath. At the last moment, the device accepted the fake signal. Its power levels dropped. The trap was avoided. Terrell stared at Jason and Olivia. "I cannot believe it. Your species. You think differently. You do not rely on fleets or codes. You improvise. You adapt." Jason nodded. "That is what got us here. That is why we answer calls no one else does." Laura smiled. "Sometimes, being small and willing is more powerful than being big and careful." For the first time, Terrell felt hope. He began to trust these humans. They had arrived when the galaxy had turned away. They had faced danger without hesitation. They had saved lives. As the station stabilized, the crew began planning the next steps. They would prepare a joint outpost, combining human knowledge and remaining alien technology. They would strengthen the station and protect the survivors. Outside, the stars shone quietly, indifferent to the small acts of courage below. But inside the station, a new light burned. A light of cooperation, courage, and hope. The call for help had been heard. The galaxy had ignored it for years. Only humanity had come. And now, the survivors had a chance. Jason stood at the central chamber, looking at Terrell and the revived crew. "We are here," he said simply, "and we are not leaving until everyone is safe." Terrell nodded, still in awe. Perhaps your species is different than we expected. Perhaps you are something new in this galaxy." Laura smiled softly. "We only do what we must, but maybe that is enough to change the universe, one life at a time." The Aurora Lance remained outside, engines humming softly, ready to assist. Inside, humans and aliens worked side by side. The station was damaged, but alive. And for the first time in years, hope was alive as well. Stars were still and cold, but inside, the crew worked with purpose. The station had power again, but many systems were unstable. The cryostasis pods were alive, but delicate. Every connection could fail if handled roughly. Olivia Brooks crouched next to a bundle of alien conduits. Sparks jumped as she connected a human fusion module to the alien energy lines. "These conduits are finicky," she muttered. "If I misalign even one, the system could blow." Ethan Cole stood nearby, typing rapidly on a console. "I'm monitoring the signals. I've created a bridge between our power source and theirs. But the system is fragile. One wrong surge and we lose everything." Laura Green was beside Terrell, who now sat more upright in his chair. His crest flexed slightly, a sign of stress in his species. "How much longer?" he asked. Jason Ward looked over the team. "As long as it takes. We do not leave anyone behind." Mia Collins checked Terrell's vital signs. "He is stabilizing, but stress is high. We need to keep him calm." Every pulse counts. Hours passed. Sparks flew, alarms beeped, and the crew worked steadily. Olivia improvised tools from human modules, clamping wires to alien ports. Ethan reprogrammed drones to act as repair assistants, carefully guiding them through delicate circuits. Suddenly, the station shook. Sensors showed a dormant Vorth device beginning to activate in a nearby asteroid. Dylan Parker's eyes widened. "It's the same trap we detected before. It's not fully armed yet, but it's trying to wake." Jason looked at him. "Explain." "The Vorth leave devices behind," Dylan said. "If survivors return, they can trigger explosions that destroy stations or ships. We can't disarm it traditionally, it is beyond our tech. But we can trick it." Ethan's fingers flew across his console. "I think I can send a false signal. Make the device believe the station has already been destroyed. It's risky, but it could work." Terrell shook his head. "No Concorde fleet would attempt this. Too dangerous. The device could explode. You would lose everything." Jason nodded. "We are not the Concorde. We are willing to take risks they won't. That is why we are here." Olivia connected the last conduit. Sparks jumped again, but the station hummed steadily. The cryopods all showed stable readings. Terrell's eyes widened with cautious relief. Ethan sent the false signal. Outside, sensors tracked the Vorth device. Its energy signature began to fluctuate. Alarms beeped on Aurora Lance. The countdown slowed. Sparks from the device flickered and died. Terrell's crest flexed rapidly. "You tricked it. The device. It accepted your signal." "How?" Jason smiled faintly. "We improvise. We adapt. That is why we are here," Laura added. "Sometimes being small and willing is more powerful than being big and careful." The station quieted. Olivia wiped her hands on her jumpsuit. "The systems are holding. The pods are stable. The worst is over." Mia checked Terrell again. "He is breathing steadily. Stress levels dropping. He will recover fully." Terrell looked at the humans in awe. "Your species. You think differently. You do not rely on fleets or rules. You act. You adapt. You save lives when no one else would." Jason nodded. "That is what humans do. We answer calls for help, even when others turn away." Laura looked at Terrell and smiled. "And sometimes that is enough to change the outcome." While the station stabilized, the crew began to plan repairs for the outer hull. Noah Price piloted drones outside, mapping damage and identifying weak points. Small repair modules clamped onto metal beams, and patches were welded carefully. Sparks flew, but no major incidents occurred inside. Terrell introduced some of his officers who had survived in cryostasis. Navigator Sellen was cautious and skeptical, but curious. She asked questions about human technology, about repair techniques, and about communication systems. Laura answered patiently. Olivia and Sellen worked side by side, combining human engineering with alien technology. "You humans are creative," Sellen admitted. "Your solutions are unorthodox, but they work." Olivia smiled. "We don't always have fancy tools. We make do with what we have. Dylan trained the recovered alien crew in defensive procedures. We are not fighting now, he said. We are learning to protect lives. The galaxy is dangerous. You need ways to survive, even if you have no fleets around you. Terrell watched quietly. He realized the humans were teaching not by orders, but by example. Their courage and quick thinking were shaping the surviving crew. Days passed. Small repairs progressed. Systems stabilized further. The cryopods were fully functional. The Aurora Lance remained on standby, ready to provide power or evacuate if needed. Then, new signals appeared. Small Vorth drones had been left behind, scattered in nearby asteroids. They were hunting survivors. Jason called a meeting. We cannot let these drones find the station. We need a plan to redirect them or neutralize them. But we cannot fight them head-on. They are too fast and aggressive for our small numbers. Ethan suggested using false signals again. If we imitate Vorth command patterns, we can convince the drones that the station is unoccupied. They may leave or move away from the station. Terrell looked worried. No Concord fleet would try this. It could fail. The drones could detect the deception and attack. Jason leaned forward. We have one chance. We act now, or the station remains at risk. We have to try. Ethan and Laura worked together, carefully coding the false signals. Olivia adjusted the station's sensors to amplify the broadcast. Outside, no guided drones to help relay the signals across the asteroid field. Minutes passed. The Vorth drones reacted. Their energy readings fluctuated. They moved away from the station. Sparks jumped from their hulls as they recalibrated. The station remained safe. Terrell looked at Jason, amazed. Your species. You risk everything, but you do it with logic and courage. You are different. Perhaps you are not just small and weak. Perhaps you are strong in ways we never understood. Jason nodded. Strength is not only in fleets and weapons. It is in courage, adaptability, and willingness to act, Laura added. And in answering when someone calls for help. Even if everyone else ignores it. Terrell began to smile faintly, his crest flexing with what humans could only describe as relief. The surviving crew of his station were alive because humans had come. Because humans had chosen to act when others would not. The next day, Jason gathered the crew. We have stabilized the station. Systems are functioning. Cryopods are safe. The Vorth devices are neutralized for now. But the galaxy is still dangerous. We cannot relax. Dylan spoke. We need a plan for ongoing protection. We cannot fight the entire Vorth fleet, but we can protect survivors and reroute threats. Laura looked at Terrell. Perhaps we should consider a joint outpost. Half human, half Concord. It will serve as a rescue hub for survivors and a listening station for distress signals. Terrell nodded. Yes, this can be a place where no one is ignored. A place where action matters more than politics or pride. Olivia began preparing the station for long-term repairs. We can integrate human modules with alien systems. It will take time, but it is possible. The station will become stronger than it was before the attack. Ethan and Laura worked on communications, creating protocols for the station and the Aurora Lance. They combined human broadcasting techniques with alien technology, creating a system that could send and receive signals across the galaxy. Mia attended to the crew, both human and alien. She taught alien medics human first aid methods while learning alien techniques herself. We need to share knowledge if we want to survive together, she said. As days passed, the survivors became more confident. The human crew had shown them that courage, creativity, and quick thinking could overcome dangers that fleets and armies might fail against. Terrell spoke privately to Jason. Your species. You have no history with the Concord, no fleets, no alliances. Yet you came, you saved lives, you changed the outcome. I do not know if the Concord will understand this, but I do. Humanity is something new, something different. Jason smiled. We only do what is right. Sometimes that is enough, Laura added, and perhaps, if more species learn this, the galaxy will be a safer place. One act of help at a time. Outside, the stars remained silent. Inside, a damaged station began to pulse with life again. Systems stabilized, pods hummed softly, and humans and aliens worked together. The galaxy had ignored the distress call for years, but now, hope was alive. For the first time in decades, Terrell's crew felt safe, and the humans, small, brave, and willing, had proven that courage and action mattered more than age, size, or power. The Aurora Lance remained ready, its crew alert and prepared. The next challenge would come, but for now, they had won a battle without firing a shot, simply by being clever, daring, and willing to answer a call that no one else had. And the survivors began to believe that perhaps, just perhaps, humanity was not only new to the galaxy, but a reason for hope.